What's up guys, I was literally just making another video, but this thing popped up on my phone as a notification, and I think this is a really interesting topic, and I wanted to go through with it and have a look at it on a video. Frick's sake. Hopefully that doesn't continue for the rest of the video, but either way, whenever I see good topics like this on Reddit, I do want to cover them and talk about them because I find this sort of content incredibly interesting personally, and I know not too many people do it for RuneScape, so I figured, you know what, it's another type of content and I want to do it. So if you guys enjoy, then leave a like and also let me know in the comments. But to get into it straight away, it says here, Solomon's General Store could be a huge source of revenue for Jagex if the cosmetics weren't so low effort. Now this title came up on my phone and caught my eye straight away. I think they are onto something here, and it's something I thought about. And while I have skimmed through this, we're going to read through it again together. And there's a few points that they made, but also a few things that I want to talk about. But also, Newbie, I think this is the OP, the actual person. I don't use Reddit at all, really. But thank you for sharing this, and also it's content for me, so thank you again. But you say, according to a Jagex mod on a Q&A interview with the RS guy, around 70% of the game's revenue right now comes from Treasure Hunter. Now, as much as most of us would rather it be gone entirely, the reality is it won't be going anywhere, and the only way to reduce the amount of promotions is to make up the revenue they would lose by not doing it. Okay, so this is true. This whole statement is true in my opinion. The revenue probably is around 70%, and if they've said that, then it's probably true, and this doesn't shock me. It really doesn't. Treasure Hunter makes them an absolute fortune. It just does, and it's kind of easy to see that whenever they roll out all these promotions and stuff. Absolutely. And then you say, now, as most of us would rather it be gone entirely, it's not going anywhere. It won't. And to say to reduce the amount of promotions to make up the revenue by they would lose by not doing it, this also won't happen. While I think you're right, the general store could make Jagex a lot more money than it does, and I think the Solomon's General Store is a missed opportunity, which I think you mentioned further down too. They would do both. They're a company that needs to make money, so they would do both. They're never going to drop Treasure Hunter. They're never going to slow down the promotions. Even if they can find a compromise, they won't compromise. That's how a company works. They want to make money. The more money they make, the better, right? That's the whole thing about it, and that's fair. Like, I don't have a problem with that. It is what it is. It's a little bit crap to see all the promotions and stuff and the gambling side of it. Absolutely agree. And hopefully something one day with laws and stuff can change how predatory it can be. If it wasn't so predatory, personally, I wouldn't have a problem with it. But yeah, they wouldn't just drop it, even if they found a compromise and they did reduce the. And they could reduce the promotions because they're making the money elsewhere. They wouldn't. They'd just do both. At least I think so. The obvious answer, at least in my eyes, has been right in front of Jagex this whole time. The Solomon's General Store. They think it's not a big money maker, so they don't put much development focus on it. Which, to be fair, right now, it isn't a big money maker for them compared to Treasure Hunter. I think no matter what they do with this, you're right, they don't, from what I can tell, they don't put much into the Solomon store. There's rarely updates for Solomon store, except for like a legendary pet now and then. And I think now you can just buy those with bond packages as well, which obviously shows that the price of bonds going up is probably also more valuable to them as a company than selling through the Solomon store. But I think, yeah, compared to Treasure Hunter, I don't think it'll ever compare to that. I really, really don't. But we'll look at the comments and we'll get to that as well. You said, however, if I've learned anything from the modern gaming landscape in games like League of Legends, it's that people will gladly spend them hard-earned cash on cool-looking cosmetics. The only problem is so many of the cosmetics sold in the Solomon store are so low effort and can't really be mixed and matched with other outfits. You're absolutely right. I feel as if Jagex is getting the wrong idea when they do rarely release content for the Solomons and then think, well, I guess people just aren't interested in cosmetics. So this is true. I agree with you completely that the quality of the Solomon store is nowhere near the sort of stuff they would put, say, on Treasure Hunter, all that sort of stuff. A lot of the overrides that we do have are actually on Solomon store, I believe. You can buy them for rune coins. Like, if you go in the wardrobe and go through, most of the stuff you see will be rune coins, I'm pretty sure, or available for rune coins. So I think most stuff does go on there, but a lot of the stuff on there is pretty bad. It is kind of bad. So yeah, I had to agree. And I think a lot of the stuff does come from Treasure Hunter and tokens, all that sort of stuff. No, we are. It says no, we actually are. It's just the stuff that you produce isn't anywhere near worth the $15 to $20 worth of rune coins. I could be entirely alone on this, but I really do feel Solomon's is a missed opportunity for them to make even more revenue and also appease the players. If you think differently, I'd love to have a civil conversation in the comments. Good luck with that one. Happy escaping. I think it's actually probably not too bad. But I know this, you say this and it doesn't help much. But yeah. But this is overall a good post. It's a really good post in my opinion. I think you've hit the nail on the head with a lot of stuff. I just think the hope is a little bit maybe too high, and that might be a little bit downside from my side. And I'm not saying you're wrong. I think you're right. Absolutely. This bit here, I really do feel Solomon's is a missed opportunity for them to make even more revenue and also appease the players. Yes, it probably is. But this but here is like, it could also be over here somewhere as well, because they won't reduce Treasure Hunter, in my opinion, if it's making the money, and then because Solomon starts making money. They're not going to go, hey look, we made 100 million this year. I don't know how much they actually make. I've not checked. It could be more, it could be less. I don't know. We had 100 million this year, but halfway through the next year, Solomon's is look, it's making way more money. We're on track to make 150 next year. Let's drop that down to make the players happy and make only 100 million again. No, they will go, yes, let's do both. So 100%, you have a good point, and it is a possibility. I don't think they'd take it though. And that isn't me shitting on Jagex, just so you know. Like, it is what it is. It's a company, they have to make money. And I would hope that the more money the company makes, the more content we can get, and the better the content and the better the quality. So if you look at it that way, it's okay, right? It's not too bad. But the problem that I see with this is that these bits here where you say they think it's not a big money maker, so they don't put much development focus on it, which, to be fair, right now it isn't a big money maker for them to compare to Treasure Hunter. Well, the way gambling works, even if I think someone mentioned it here, people will spend more money on a chance of an item rather than just buying the said item. Granted, long terms, I think the Solomon SGS will be likely to break laws in gambling. Will be less. I think this is the Solomon store. I think that means the Solomon store. I'm not 100% sure. I could be completely wrong. Will be likely to break laws in gambling, which is why Jaggers haven't fully took the system. Less likely. And this person says, if we're speaking non-cosmetic items worth a gold value, then yes, certainly. Purely cosmetic outfits, that's a different story. League of Legends has a system where you can buy or you can open boxes for a chance at cool cosmetic skins, yet the majority of player base chooses to buy the skins outright. This is true, and from the outside it looks like this. But if one player buys 600 of these loot boxes because they want a chance at the cosmetics, but they also think, but I also get this other stuff too while I do it, they make more for that one player than they do maybe 300 players as well. Like it's so these people that are gambling for stuff outweigh the people who are outright buying stuff. And for them, say if they put the green Santa hat on the Solomon store, right? Solomon store, green Santa hat, £20. And someone went over, or $20, whatever, and they bought it for $20, and all these people bought it. But for the people that spent $2,000, $3,000 trying to get this green Santa hat, because people did. I guarantee you, I know for a fact, people spent thousands and thousands on keys trying to get this Santa hat, and they may have got one or two, whatever, but they spent thousands. Now, for them to come out and get those thousands of dollars for one thing instead of just spending $20 is a big deal. It is. I really like this, but I feel like I'm being negative on this post, and I don't want it to come across like this. I think this is great. I think what you're saying is so good, and that's why I clicked through the link, because it's true. It's true. The Solomon store is a missed opportunity, and they could. And if in any way whatsoever the Solomon store led to them not being so predatory on Treasure Hunter, I'm fine with that. I can live with Treasure Hunter in the game. I can live with it being how it is, as long as it's not so damn predatory to gambling. That's the only downside for me, especially in a game where the age is 13 to play. But this is something I bring up all the time. People don't really care. I care. The fact that it's 13. Jagex changed the age to 18, and I'll probably shut up in most situations. I guess it's 21 for America, but it's a UK company, so 18. But yeah, so personally, I agree. I think Jagex could make an absolute fortune off of the Solomon store if they made good cosmetics and they spent a lot of effort on the cosmetics. Now, I don't know what the cost would be for Jagex to post all of that. If they had a small art team, maybe like 3 people, maybe even dedicated to filling the Solomon store with cosmetic overrides, animation changes, like the stuff we've had on Treasure Hunter, the animation overrides and stuff, if they could sell those too, even in packs, so they could sell like a pack for $50. I know that's expensive, but cosmetics these days in games are expensive, and for them to combat Treasure Hunter prices, because you guys spend a fortune on Treasure Hunter, it is what it is, it's how it works. You would have to put out $50 or something. You could maybe do a pack of like 3, and you could have like rack, like the things that people wouldn't normally get. You could have like rack and impact, the 2 abilities people wouldn't care about, and then also an ultimate, like the things that people are, oh, that's cool. So like you could like bind those stuff together, make the small ones that wouldn't be worth anywhere near as much, put them in with the other stuff that would be worth so much, and bind it together. They could do that. The cosmetics are huge, and the fashionscape thing in RuneScape 3 is massive, and people absolutely would do it. They would buy it. I would buy it. I would buy cosmetics. I love cosmetics. I change my override all the time. It's a game that has the not terrible graphics, but the art style isn't anything like fancy or anything, but yet cosmetics still matter. In RuneScape, they do. For people to say they don't matter, to you personally maybe not, but to most people they do. But yeah, so that's just kind of how it goes. But at the end of the day, it's convincing Jagex to not put that item on Treasure Hunter and have people gamble for it instead of putting it on the Solomon store. And that's the only problem with this, like it really is. But again, for the OP, I feel like I kind of made it out like I didn't agree with your post, but I do. All of it. I do agree with it. I think there's just a few flaws in the idea, and that's not because the idea is bad. The idea is good. The flaw is they would make more money from doing both. and also every time they make a cosmetic override, should they put it on the Solomon store, or should they put it in a token and put that token on the Treasure Hunter store? Yeah, on the Treasure Hunter, and have people spend for it. What do you think? What do you think is going to make more money? But yeah. Let's have a few read through some of the comments as well, because I'm interested in those. But that was my overall thoughts on it, and I just ranted for like 12 minutes. Holy crap. But you said, so obviously as an Iron Man, I can't engage a Treasure Hunter. And I'll admit that I did participate in Treasure Hunter cosmetic promotions a couple of times, but I would be all over ability overrides if they were on Solomon's. Hell yes, you would. So would I. I would as well. Completely agree. But it's just not going to happen. So the OB said, funny you mentioned that experience as an Iron. I actually realized all of this when I was trying to up my fashionscape game on my Iron. I don't buy games too often, so I figured, what the hell, I'll spend up to $40 in rune coins if it means I get an awesome outfit or 2. After 20 minutes, I couldn't find a single outfit or a combination of outfit pieces to buy any rune coins at all. I was ready to happily give them my money, and they couldn't convince me even to spend $5 or $10 of the $40 I was willing to spend. This bit here, freaking hell yes, I completely agree. For the amount of times I sit and go through the wardrobe thing, just because there's nothing else to do and I'm just chilling AFK waiting for a friend or something, like this is shopping time, right? And you can see it in game. You look at the stuff and you're like you know, like it's all pretty average, and they can do some good artwork. Like the artists in RuneScape are really freaking good, like so damn good, but it seems like a lot of the stuff isn't focused on making new cosmetics like that. But it's a shame, because I completely agree. I've looked through there, and while I would probably just drop coins on it, buy bonds, get rune coins that way, even that way we'll still put the price of bonds up and stuff, demand the bonds. So I agree. Yeah, there's not that many cosmetics on the Solomon store that really go well, and mixing and matching cosmetics is something that Jagex is yet to actually get into. It's very rare that you can get a set that you can then mix with another set and make a good override, like a good one that goes together well. I use like a different hood and a different cape or something on my robes or whatever, but like there's nothing else you can really do. It's kind of hard. Then it hit me, why don't we get tons of high quality cosmetics pumped into this game like other MTX games? I'm not saying we need to be at Fortnite levels of cosmetics being produced, but 2 to 3 maybe every 2 weeks, that doesn't seem unfeasible. It will be cool. I agree. It will be very cool. You would think with how much they would have to gain from this, that even taking the initial loss of production and development costs would be well worth the risk. If they were spend up to $10,000, make a really quality cosmetic set in total, it would only take 500 players to recoup it. If they were to spend up to $10,000 to make a really quality cosmetic set in total, it would only take up to 500 players to recoup it. Yeah, I mean, this is true. They would they sell it? how many players would we have? Would they sell? Yeah, they'd probably sell 500. Yeah, easy. Let's say 500. The problem is, this is the thing. You're right again, but they could put it on Treasure Hunter, and then they only have If they only sell 500, if they only sell 1,000, they have 1,000 people gamble for it, and they make 100 times more. So this is the problem. Like they could do that, but yeah, they have such an easy way to make money with this. Release old or retired Solomon's cosmetics to the store again. They don't need to make anything new, and this stuff actually looks decent since it isn't made of the new bulky Play-Doh style that turns people off. This is true. Some of the new cosmetics, like the Yak Track, a lot of the new cosmetics come through the Yak Track, right? They do. That's where most of the cosmetics come from now, right? Yak Track or Oddments, that sort of stuff. They do have like a little plasticky sort of Play-Doh style feel to them, which is weird, but yeah. Anyway, guys, it is what it is. I think this is a good post. I'm not going to go on that much longer. It's been 16 minutes. I think it's a good idea, and I wish, and I'm with you, that it would be nice if Jagex toned down Treasure Hunter, because they could have like, hey, look, we can put this money into Solomon's instead. But they would absolutely just do both. It is what it is. And yeah, that's the only sad side of it. But I agree, Solomon should be given some love. Buying stuff outright is something people will do, absolutely will do, but they will still make more money on Treasure Hunter, so it's hard to say. But yeah, anyway, I hope you all enjoyed this. I don't know, let me know in the comments. There's not any editing in here whatsoever. I'm just going to cut it and put it in and whatever. If you like sort of content, let me know. It is very easy for me to make. So I'm happy to make it. If you guys see any other Reddit posts you want me to cover, or if you guys use Reddit and make posts and you want me to cover it, link me in Discord. There's a link in the description. I will cover it. Again, let me know in the comments, guys, if you enjoy this sort of thing. I'll be interested. And yeah, thank you all for watching. Thank you, OP, for the post. Really good post. I enjoyed it a lot, obviously. We talked about it for ages. Thanks, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See you later, guys. Bye.